What's up, everybody? Bleeding Hoof here. And as I was watching my murder porn on Investigative Discovery, I'm like, hey, why don't I put up a video of my celestial powers, my healings loadout? So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting up my celestial healing powers, and I'm gonna get right into it. First off, celestial. This is Feora. She's awesome. Probably one of my best looking DC characters I've made so far. I tried to get her that angel look, you know, since she's celestial and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, first off, I got the power set celestials, or celestial power set, and I went healing. This was my main focus, was to heal. I barely have any PvP gear right now, so I'm gonna just get into how this class works. Let me show you. Alright, if we look, this is the tree I went with. It may not be the best loadout, it may not be the top notch, but this is what works for me. This power set uses two things. It uses both trees to actually be a viable healer. So one thing I do, and I've noticed, was to get these so-called celestial combos down. These celestial combos, if you do them enough and get a good enough rapport with your muscle memory on doing these, this class is easy, fun, and a joy to play. I guarantee it. So say I want to use my consume soul. In order to use consume soul with my celestial combo, I would have to have also Wrath of Presence on the same tree. You will notice the trees are exactly identical, so it's no confusing which goes with which. And there's also a explanation of what the combo will give you. Like my consume soul. Heal a roll, soul consumption of freeing souls restores health over time to you and nearby allies. But it feeds on the soul of your target, dealing damage over time, stunning and pulling it towards you. In alerts, I haven't noticed the pulling towards me. Only time they come towards me is when I use it when I'm doing missions. So you don't have to worry about any of that in alerts. Now when I cleanse it, purge spirits from nearby enemies, dealing heavy damage, pulling them towards you and knocking them down. Again, in alerts, it just knocks them down. It doesn't do anything. Well, I'm sorry. If I were to do that, I would need to look at my blessed tree, because that's where it goes from. The corrupted version. Bombard enemies with an explosion of dark energy, dealing damage over time and knocking them down. That's what I like. It does DPS. It does dots, DOT, damage over time, and it knocks them down. So it kind of helps with the run a little bit in alerts and all that kind of stuff. So in order to do this, I would have to do my celestial combo, which is right here. Tap melee and then hold melee. Now in order to do that, you have to use your power. So I hit 1, tap melee, and then hold melee. And there you go. That's how it's done. Same thing with my admonish. I keep calling it admonish. I would have to. The celestial combo is melee, tap melee, and then hold range. This is a very, very good spell. It's my big hot spell, healing over time, which works great with my corrupt soul. Is that what it's called? Consume soul. With my consume soul. So you use both of those and basically nobody's gonna die. So usually I will open up with my consume soul, do that. Oops, hit the wrong button. Consume soul, and then my admonish. And once you get that those combos down, you will be fine. I mean, the worst part is you get knocked, stunned, or knocked down or anything during a fight. So usually you gotta have some distance between you and the NPCs. So that's basically how Celestial works. The Admonish is tap melee and hold range, and that gives everybody healing over time. It's the bigger healing over time. I use my Consume Soul to basically keep everybody up. You know, it's my little, it doesn't cost much. It barely costs anything. And a good thing about the Celestial combos, using both powers does not add on to how much power it takes away. It only uses the power of the first one, which is great. Okay, so that's why this class is probably, I think it's almost better than my sorcerer, which was Michigan Misket, which you saw him on the Free to Play Friday. And check that out if you get a chance. And I'm gonna go into my skill points. Well, let's go with my power set first. I went with the Blessed Tree is mostly what I'm into. As you can see, this is what I did. And the Cursed, I just went down the left side just for a little bit. I didn't put as many points. I've seen people put 13 points in their trees. I didn't want to do that because I wanted, in my iconic powers, I wanted Intimidating Gaze. I'm sorry, Miracle Worker, which every healer should have, and Empathic Healing. Those two are your main ones you need for a healer. And then Wisdom of Solomon, which gives me vitalization and power. More power, more vitalization works out well, just in case you don't have a a controller. Because usually I do pugs. I don't usually have a regular group I run with. If I do run anything, it's with Gravy, and usually either he's controlling or I'm controlling on my other tune. So it works back and forth with both, because both of us have a healer and a controller. But those are the three power sets I use, the iconic powers I mean. And Wisdom of Solomon, Empathic Healing, and Miracle Worker. Now my skill points, I started with Hand Blasters, which I pretty much stuck with. I only go for the healings, which is basically what everybody should go for. I don't worry about none of the combos, because I got enough combos to do a little damage. I go for critical healing, magnitude, and restoration. That's mainly it. And I think I also went in shield, which is the first one is plus 1% heal chance. That's always great. And then the 15 restoration. And I think the other one, rifle, which is also plus 2% healing magnitude, and I went with the critical healing and vitalization to keep my power coming in when I attack. And I got two more. Let me think. Is it one-handed? One-handed, yes. One-handed also plus 2% critical healing magnitude and critical healing magnitude, vitalization, and more restoration. And my last one I think was staff, which I'm still working on to get down to the critical healing and the restoration. That will do. Now, for my loadout, of course I told you I go with Consume Soul for my little heals over time. It's what I use to basically keep everybody topped off. Keep everybody going in the fight. As far as, but when things get trouble, I do my Consume Soul and my Admonish. My Renew, which is basically my one-hit heal for one person and me, which most of the times is just for me, because I'm usually getting hit sometimes. So I would have to pop that and then maybe pop my Consume Soul and keep my health back up. My Admonish, which I use for the big heals when damage starts coming in a little heavier. And my Blessing, keep everybody protected. I use this one in the beginning of a big group, or a beginning of a boss fight, somewhere around there. Or when things get hairy, pop a shield and everybody's okay. Guardian's Light, which I find to be the best healing spell without a supercharge. It is vulnerable to interrupt. That's the only problem. It's vulnerable to interrupt, but it's a raid heal, and basically what it does is it's healing over time, and then when it's over, it gives you a big number at the end, depending on your stats. Not that big, but usually it fills everybody back up, and it's awesome. It's just awesome. I love it. And I went with Sacrifice for my supercharge. May not be the best choice. Like I said, this is what works for me. But I feel like with Sacrifice, it helps a lot that I'm actually giving more than just heals. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm helping my group. See, Sacrifice, it sacrifice your own protection to help nearby allies, and healing over time, power over time, and protective shields. Healing and power. Think about that. Healing and power to everybody. So when everybody's low, boss is almost dead, I'd rather sacrifice myself, because it says if I'm knocked out while taunting, because all the enemies are going to come at you. As soon as you use this, all the NPCs or enemies or whatever you want to call them, they're going to come at you. So you can pop your shield first, and then use your supercharge to try to heal yourself through it. But if you die, it will also give your mates healing over time, which is not healing over time. I think it'll heal them just once. No, it'll heal them over time. So that is a good supercharge for me. A lot of people went with I can't think of the name of it. They went with Life Drain. It's another raid heal, and it no, Cursed Idol. Is that it? No, I think it's Life Drain. A lot of people went with Life Drain, heals over time, and damages enemies. I don't feel like that's enough to be healing. You know what I mean? If you want to give heals, you want to feel like you're actually doing something. So the one I go with is it gives you power, it gives them shields, and if you die, you know that your group is still going to be alive, and maybe, just maybe, somebody can pick you up, and you can keep going back to what you were doing. So that's my loadout. That's my loadout. I hope it helped everyone. You know, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's your boy Bleeding Hoof signing out with DC Universe, and I'm gonna at the end of this video, don't forget to check out the alert that I'm gonna run. Hopefully with Gravy. Maybe he can be my controller for the day, and show you how I do it in alerts. So everybody have a good one. Peace.